We are so excited to finish our happy birthday quilt. We've been working on our blocks all year long, and now we're going to show you how to put it all together.
Yes, so we've broken it down. To keep it simple, we've created rows. And so we're putting all the blocks into rows.
And so you kind of can see that we already have sections of rows. And this big, beautiful quilt, we're going to show you how easy it is to put it all together.
All right. Okay, here we are with our happy row. And when we first did this for our video, we completed this part of it. So all we're doing is adding this piece to create and finish this row.
And all the measurements for the remaining pieces of this quilt are on our website. So download them and you can see what's left to put together.
And so the finished, or I should say the unfinished measurement of this row and each row is 73.5 inches.
Okay, so make sure your rows measure that, if not very close.
And then our next row is our cupcake row. And in between each block, we have these sashing pieces. And then to the top of this, we have another sashing piece.
So again, the measurements are on our website. They're different measurements for each sashing, so make sure you look for those.
And on that, this area right here is where we'll sew the button after it's finished quilting.
Perfect.
Okay. This is our candle row. And again, between each block, we have sashing. And then to each end of that, we have the pinwheel block and another sashing piece.
And then we add, once all the pinwheel blocks, the sashings are in place, we added this long sashing to go on the bottom. Yep. And we wanted to show you we needed to still add this long sashing to go on top because we're going to add a flame to the top of our candles.
So this will be sewn here. And I think it's easiest if you sew these 3 rows together, then you can sew each of your flames on. I'm going to needle turn mine, but we've shown a few different methods for putting your flames on.
Perfect. So do these sections together, sew your flames on, and head to the next section.
Yes. All right.
So we'll kind of put these aside.
Okay. So this is what we're calling our party hat units. And in each row, we've got 2 party hats and then a block. So we've got 2 rows with 2 party hats and a kaleidoscope block here and here, and then 2 party hats with a pinwheel block.
And we have 4 sashings in between.
Right.
And once we do each section, we're going to add a long sashing. So we just have 2 long sashings in between.
And that completes this unit. Then we have our ice cream unit. And this is similar,
Same concept.
On the opposite side. So you've got your 2 ice creams and kaleidoscope. It's repeated down here. And then 2 ice cream and your pinwheel.
And again, 4 sashing measurements are on our website.
Yep.
Sew this together and you have 1 long sashing in between both of those.
Yes, and then this unit's going to go over here. And then the birthday cake, which was already complete when we did this block, is going to go right in the middle of these 2 units. So this whole section, or these units, once they're sewn together, are called the cake row.
And we don't need any more sashing. We can just flip this over, run our 1/4 inch seam around that, down that side, and this section's good to go.
Right.
So let's talk about our last section.
Okay. Okay, here we are to our present row. We have 6 present blocks, and we have a sashing in between each one.
On each end.
And then we've got 2 blocks with sashing in between each block. So
you do this section before you put it together.
Yes. So you have a sashing, or a pinwheel, sashing, kaleidoscope, sashing.
And these are a little larger, so make sure to get the measurements off the website.
And then you'll sew this to this sashing.
Add a sashing on the end.
Yes. And then repeat that for this end.
And once we're all finished with all the sections, then you add 1 big long sashing to the top.
Right.
Great.
Then the last row is our birthday row. And again, it's like our happy row. We already have the banner completed and just
Two
a
smaller
piece
sections.
sewn to each end. And again, all rows should measure 73.5 inches unfinished.
And this goes, no sashing in between these.
Right.
It goes directly onto this block section.
Right.
Now that we've got our last section all ready to be sewn together, we're going to show you how we pin. So we nestle our seams so everything lies nice and flat and everything lines up. So we'll grab our pins. And we line this up. And these two seams are going to go together. We want them to match, be spot on. So we're going to add a little pin right there. I'm going to flip one direction, the other direction, and just nestle those right together and add a pin right there. And that's the only seam we have to line up.
Yes. The rest of these do not line up. Just place them.
So it's easy to sew, but as you go along throughout this quilt, there's plenty of seams that need to be lined up. So just be mindful of that. So it's ready to go and take to the machine and sew.
Yes. Okay, so once we've sewn all these sections together, we've completed the quilt.
And we did add a border to this quilt, and I think it just frames it really nicely.
It does, and we'll have
Brings
all
it
of
all
those
together.
measurements on the pattern when you download it.
And once your border's completed, you take it to your favorite long arm quilter, and she can have so much fun with it.
Yes, we put names and the dates of birthdays.
Up here.
Every block is something fun and different.
So, and then once it's been long arm quilted, you can add your cherries on top, and then we added our bows to our happy birthday cake.
And then you're ready to bind.
And once you've bound and it's good to go, you can just enjoy it as a family and so celebrate all the birthdays. So thank you so much for joining us this year in our Block of the Month program, our Happy Birthday Quilt. And next year, we've already got it planned out.
Much smaller. We're going to have fun with miniatures.
So mini quilts. So join us next year for mini quilts.